everyone, my name is Alex and welcome to my channel. So in this video, I just wanted to sit down and talk a little bit more. I hope you like that format as well. If you do, please let me know what do you think about it in the comments. I would highly appreciate your feedback because I'm just learning how to make videos. I'm trying out different things, so let me know. So in this video, me and my friend Alice went to a dog cafe. If you saw the previous video, you already know that last time we tried to go there. However, there was just too many people in the line, so we gave up. This time, fortunately, we made it because we went on Monday after class. There was still a line, but we didn't have to wait that long. So later in this video, you're gonna see me with Alice. We're gonna talk a little bit more about the experience itself, like the cafe itself. But first, I want to take you with me to get my first ever color tattoo here in Seoul. So I already have two small tattoos. They're both black and white. One is this one, the music note on my arm, and I have another small one, it's the moon on my ankle. All of the tattoos I have so far, they have meaning to me, and this one as well, the one that I decided to get in Seoul. I don't know if you are aware, but tattoos in Korea are kind of illegal, and I know for those of you who don't know, you might be wondering, why the hell did I do a tattoo in Korea then if they're kind of illegal? But let me just explain it shortly to you. So the Korean Ministry of Health considers tattooing as a medical procedure and say therefore it should be done by a medical professional with a medical license. So technically, tattoos are legal here, but they can only be done by a doctor who has a medical license. So I read in this article on the government website that Korea is one of the few developed countries that has this rule of tattooing only with a medical license. So South Korean tattoo artists are forced to operate underground to promote themselves on social media rather than just putting a sign on a building or promoting themselves somewhere else. The Korean government estimates around 20,000 illegal tattoo artists in Korea. I find the tattoo artists one of the best because if you see it on Instagram, their fine line tattoos and colored tattoos are just so beautiful that I decided to get one in Korea because it's gonna be like a memory of this trip, plus it has meaning to me. What's interesting about tattoos as well is that celebrities, Korean celebrities like idols, musicians, they post normally on social media pictures with their tattoos on. However, when they are performing on public TV, they have to either cover it with body tapes or they get pixelized in post-production. And you might be wondering, why is it like this? I'm not quite sure myself, but I was doing some research about it. So if I'm wrong, please correct me. I would like to know the actual reason. From what I've read and from what I've studied at my university, because I've studied Korean history before, in the past, tattoos were viewed as mutilation or a mark of punishment or ownership. Under Japanese occupations, Korean gangs adopted the aesthetics of so-called yakuza, using tattoos as a mark of identification. I think it's one of the reasons why especially older Koreans find it still very difficult to escape these legal and cultural connotations. Anyways, I have contacted the tattoo artist on Instagram. She opened the booking slot, so I just messaged her on Instagram. I described what tattoo I want, in what style. I wanted to get a bouquet of flowers, which represents my family's birth flowers, so it's really meaningful to me. That's why doing it in Korea as well felt even more meaningful because it's kind of like a, memory from a trip. So 2 days before actual appointment, I received the design. After confirming it, I received an address of the actual place. As I said before, because it's risky to put out any signs on the buildings, I think they are very cautious as well about it, so they just send you the address a few days before. The tattoo itself took around 2 hours. It wasn't really painful. The only part that was quite uncomfortable was just laying in one position for 2 hours because my arm fell asleep. Do you say fell asleep? I don't know. I hope you know what I mean. I loved the tattoo. It was exactly like the design she sent me. I was super, happy with the tattoo. And the healing process as well wasn't really crazy. Like, just the skin peeled off for like 2 days, but I wasn't bruising, I wasn't like bleeding, and everything was like really good. If you like this style of the tattoo, if you want to check the tattoo artist as well, I'll just put it in the description box down below so you can check it yourself. So I went to do the tattoo on Sunday, and on Monday, as I mentioned in the intro already, me and Alice went to the dog cafe in Hongdae. We decided to go to a different cafe afterwards and just have little sit down with us, talk. Just wanted to highlight again that these are our own personal experiences, and then we don't mean anything in a bad way. We don't want to offend anyone, so please do not take it personally. Thank you.
Okay, so basically we got coffee after going to the dog cafe because it was a lot.
It was amazing, but at the same time, I have mixed feelings about it. I think because we are both introverts, the amount of people was very overwhelming. We both are INFPs. How crazy is that? That's crazy. We love each other.
It's like, wait, let me show you the meme of the two like dancing praying mantises.
That's us.
Basically, you have to understand something. The density of the population in Korea is very high. So any cute activity you see on Instagram and YouTube, it's taken in such a way that you don't notice, but actually like then when you actually go to visit the places, there's a line of I don't know how many people.
You have to wait at least like 30 minutes everywhere. And I feel like in Korea, basically they follow trends.
It's like, all about trends here.
Exactly. So if something is trendy, you're gonna wait for at least 30 minutes to an hour to get in.
And then when you're going to experience the actual thing, when it's finally your turn, you go with like a group of people.
Exactly.
And everything feels a little less like in the moment, intimate, like everything feels transactional. Like even in the dog thing, once we were with the dogs, we still had to queue, and it was like every group had to go and like take their pictures, and then you have to get up and like leave.
Exactly. But it's not even about that. Like, I just feel kind of bad for the dogs because you could tell they're very exhausted with the amount of people. Like, they weren't even happy to, play with people. Like, usually when you see a dog, they just like want to play, they're very happy. But because there is like thousands of people a day, they get pretty exhausted. I mean, I read online that it's one of the best cafes with dogs anyways, because like you can tell they treat them really well, and like they tell us specifically not to touch like their heads because it's too sensitive. So I feel like in this case they treat dogs well, but obviously the dog's gonna be exhausted after,
Yeah, because me personally, after like 30 minutes there, I was already as an introvert like drained by the fact that there's so many people everywhere just like taking pictures of these dogs and like talking all different languages and stuff. So I can't imagine when you're a dog and you have these groups of like 25 people from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. coming non-stop and like touching you and stuff.
Because in Asia, you have a lot of dog cafes, like animal cafes in general, and I've heard some of them are really like sketchy because they take the animals from like illegal places and stuff. But this one, you could see like a lot of certificates of the dogs from the actual legit places.
And the dogs, you could see they loved the people that worked there. Like they loved them. It was so cute actually.
안돼 빵이야 빵 한번 더 빵 아니야 빵 엎드려 엎드려야 돼 엎드려 빵이야 빵 그렇지.
At least we didn't go to like a sketchy place. But you know, like I can see why in Asia it's popular. Because like you don't have a lot of space for like huge apartments and they're very expensive. So you can't really afford to have a big dog, you know, so the dog can actually have a lot of space. So
No, I actually hate that when people like get big dogs in like tiny one-room studios, and it's like that's not very nice.
for a dog, exactly. So like a lot of people just don't end up getting a dog. So I understand, like I love dogs myself. I have one at home, but like I don't see him that often. So I'm craving this like dog attention and like just to play with dogs. So these cafes like are good for people who like love animals and wanna
Yeah.
you know, kind of feel the love of the animal. That's why I think in Asia it's very popular. But at the same time, I think you just have to choose right places to go to, because if you go to like those sketchy cafes and they earn a lot of money on you, off of you, they're gonna treat the animals the way they treated them before. So,
Yeah, you do your research before, because like you don't want to be giving money to people who mistreat animals, you know. So
Exactly. So, but overall, it was a good experience. So if you ever get a chance and you're not overwhelmed by people, go.
yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah,
But you know, in Seoul, because there's like so many people, plus so many tourists everywhere, it's gonna be.
it is one thing. Like I love this place, but
Yeah.
you need to get used to the fact that you will have crowds of people in every coffee restaurant or attraction or activity that is worth it.
Exactly. And if you see a line in front of a restaurant, it means it's really good. But like you have to wait at least 40 minutes.
Yeah, people are very happy here
To wait, right?
to wait for like 40 minutes to an hour to then have to do something for 30 minutes.
Like if you look at it in London, you usually get a table quite like easily. But then you wait for a food like 30 minutes.
Oh,
but in
true.
Korea, you wait in a line for 40 minutes, but you get your food within 5 minutes.
Wait, that's such a good point. I didn't think of
so
that.
it's kind of the same, but because you just sit comfortably in like.
Plus, they give you like, do you want a drink?
Exactly.
And dessert.
So it feels different.
Yeah.
A bit different.
No, but that's such a good point, because you're bali, like it's like you sit down, you get your food right away. No, that's true.
So me and my friends, we went to Ilsan for this restaurant, and it was my first ever experience because I think we waited for like 40 minutes overall.
Oh, really?
Yes, but you go in, you sit down on the floor, and then you just like, you don't even order because this restaurant had only one meal on the menu.
That means that meal.
It's amazing. It was amazing. But like, you literally sit down, 5 minutes later, you have your soup
Oh.
on the table. So honestly, it's like this. So everything here is very fast. If you're hungry, you get into the restaurant, 5 minutes, 10 minutes max, you got your food.
You know what? You're so right. We've been here for a month and a half. Never once did I wait for food,
Yeah, me neither.
which is in Europe something that's all the time.
I think the
But happens all the time.
most that I've waited, it was for a chicken, it was like 15-20 minutes. That was.
I never even waited.
And then my friend was like, oh, I think they forgot about us. And I was like, in London, 20 minutes would be nothing. You wouldn't even notice. So I think this is a difference, definitely.
Right. Also, they're very polite here. I mean, I'm sure, you know,
Of course.
like customer service.
On top, it's like,
It's gonna be weird going back to Europe with those entitled baristas and stuff.
yeah.
Oh, okay. The staring.
Yeah. I'm used to it now.
Yeah, people here just like it's not seen as rude to
Yeah,
stare.
To stare at someone, yeah.
So
And
prepare
they,
yourselves for
I
that.
feel like they stare at everyone, but mostly at foreigners.
Foreigners, if you're blonde, you're like basically a look at me sign
But
for
the
them.
thing is, they stare in the same way, so I never know if like it's something good or something bad.
Right.
And I'm always like, unconsciously, I'm always like, oh, do I have something on my face? And I'm just like checking, because it's really weird. Because especially that we live in London, no one stares at you. They don't give a damn. Yeah. And here, going into like the staring culture was a shock.
And yeah, it I would do like mental work on yourself before coming here because they are very looks oriented. Like there's mirrors everywhere, every metro tube station, almost every street. Like there's mirrors and people just like check themselves out and they will tell you if you don't look good. So
They will.
they will.
Which is quite shocking because in Europe, I feel like, I mean, if we are close, I'd be like, oh, it's
No, but for
everything
them,
right? Like here, it's
for them it's just like, oh hi, comment about your looks. How are you?
Exactly.
It's just, but it's not rude. It's just like the way they interact.
Exactly. And then like some of my Korean friends, like when they were commenting about my weight, they didn't really see, like they didn't think it's something wrong. They were, because like one of them said like, oh, if you lost weight, you would look so much better. Which for me, it's such a bad thing to say, but for them, it's normal because it's very normal to talk about weight, looks, and it's quite.
It's something that if you're still struggling with that, maybe you should wait a little bit, work on it, and then come here.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot of people that came to live here, they had to go back because they did not
mentally
did not like, how do you say it?
They couldn't bear, like it was too much for them.
Too much for them mentally, with all the like, how do you call it? Lookism.
Lookism. That's exactly the word.
Yeah.
It is intense lookism, and it's not only girls here. Like
Guys. Yeah.
half of the people looking at themselves in the mirrors here are guys. Like they are very looks oriented as well.
That's why I feel like, in like K-pop idols and all the K-dramas, they're so perfect. That's why I feel like there is this stigma about Korean people that they're all so beautiful because they just take care of themselves more.
That's the thing, that it's just that they do take care of themselves more. Like skincare for men here is huge. Like in every Daiso even, you have like the whole thing. And they are often the ones in the mirror, like, because their hair has to be perfect to the, like in the dramas type of thing. So, yeah.
That's a shock. Like, it's something different from what we used to, right?
Yeah, because even as like Western educated girls, like you realize, oh, he actually like takes more care of himself than I do. And you look not put together next to like them, and you're like,
I kind of feel ashamed about it, but then I remind myself like, no, stop.
Exactly.
Don't care about it.
That's why sometimes like you're gonna get messages all the time about like you need to put more makeup, you need to lose weight, but like you need to stop.
Yeah.
Look at those messages and be like.
That's it for today's video. I hope you liked this little sit down with me, with us talk. Let me know what do you think about this format. Let me know about my previous videos. Let me know what you want to see more, because I only have 1 month left in Korea, unfortunately. I don't record everything because I just want to like be in the moment sometimes, but let me know what you want to see and I will try to record it for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!